Gongwen Lee coming to you from Fate of the Empress. And my special guest star is Sirius, my little boy. I'm so excited today because I have him back. So, anyway, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about, not this stuff, this is just because I like it. But I did want to tell you a little bit about loop. Now, you're going to be like, if you've never heard of loop and you haven't done it yet, you're going to be like, oh, loop? What are we talking about here? What's a loop? Well, we're definitely not talking about hula hoops about loop, but we are talking about loop, which is a daily task that opens for you as you level up. And I was very shocked by my first loop, and I don't want you to be overly surprised, so I'm going to give you a little intro. Let's get into it. Go to your dailies, go to Humble Garden Loop Quest right here. It tells you some of the drops, although I don't think I've ever seen this gem. Maybe it's just gems in general, but you definitely do to get some tour coins, which is really helpful for buying some things in the exchange shop, and some other loot. So let's go take a look. This is Royal Garden, and this is that pavilion that's by the bamboo forest. So I'll show you on the map. It's here where the blue arrow is. Okay, so you come here and you talk to the loot quest master, and you accept the quest, and it'll give you 100, pardon me, it'll give you 100 levels of the quest. I mean, can you believe it? 100. This is definitely something to do. Maybe not the first time you can do it AFK, but after the first couple times, you should be able to do it AFK mostly. All right. So you come here and it says level 70 is when it opens. Yay, I'm over level 70. And then you accept. It opens this menu. And when needs some water. And as you do the quests, it actually will give you 2 chances to spin this wheel for every 20 loops that you clear. So that's 10 times that you can spin the wheel, and that gives you most of the loot on this wheel. You're going to miss a couple things. Sometimes in this loot is a piece of a costume outfit. I have the hair and the dress, but I don't have the ornament yet. So I always feel really sad when I get the ornament in the wheel and then it doesn't land on it. There's also sometimes these aliases, which can give you temporary might increases. I don't really like to count temporary might increases, but that I do land on that sometimes. And the alias is kind of cute, so I do use it. All right. This says lift loot quantity cap. Please disregard this button. Don't bother to lift the loot quantity cap, whatever that was to begin with, because it will let you do all 100 in one day. This is a week-long quest. It's not something that you have to do every single day. It rolls over on Monday at reset, and you have until Sunday to complete it. So if you're a busy person and you are on the go a lot, maybe you'll only be able to do 5 or 10 levels of loop at a time, and that's fine. If you are someone who can set it and forget it and walk away after your first few loops, then you'll be able to finish 100 probably by the time you cook dinner and eaten it. Okay, so great place to get universal shards. I just want to point out a couple things here. And fabled crystals. Really great place to get character shards. And these are for upgrading your fabled costume once you have it, which acts like armor on your character. So you definitely want these. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go. So we're getting into it. Sirius is going to come along and run with me. Although he drags behind so far, sometimes you can't see him in the video. There he is. So you start the quest and then you go and you talk to someone. And this is all automatic. I should submit my fishing thing while I have a chance before it uses all the fish for a loop. There we go. Once your fish are out, you start using your guild's fish storage automatically from the guild warehouse. So that was my blessing tree reward from earlier. Okay, so if you run into a place where it asks for fish, it will take it automatically from whatever fish you have once you're able to do loop on automatic. If you can't do it on automatic yet, then you'll have to hand over a fish or go fishing for a fish if you don't have it. Oh, I turned into the Maid. I was so hoping that would happen because she has this ridiculous run. Sorry, I get really easily distracted when I'm doing these. So she has this ridiculous run, and sometimes you have to stare at it the entire time if it's your first loop and you have to manually go through, or if it's your first loop and you're just dead curious like I was so curious and I wanted to see everything that happened. So I stuck it out, all 100 levels, I stuck it out. So a couple things that happen along the way is, besides people asking you for favors so you run around in a loop continuously in Humble Garden, is that you'll run into like a costume type situation where you have to do almost like pageant and you have to wear a costume and model it. So the costume challenge, and then sometimes you'll run into battles. Now, the thing that I really want you to know, which I didn't know my first time, is that if something comes up, like there's like 3 things really. If something comes up and it says deadline on your quest thing right here, it doesn't mean right away. Like, hey Nuna. That's my guildmate Nuna. It doesn't mean right away it's gonna expire. It means by the end of the week, so by Sunday night. So there's that much time. I didn't know that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Sometimes it's going to ask you to fight arena rounds, usually when you're a little higher level. So you have to go and do 5 arena fights from your dailies. So if you are on Monday, maybe do your do your arena stuff after loop, just in case loop requires that. Because if it does, then you've already done your arena stuff for the day, then you'll have to wait till the next day, or you'll have to pay for those extra rounds. And the third thing is that if you run into a boss battle in loop, don't panic if you can't beat it, because you can actually team up and get carried. I did not know this my first time. I got all the way 99 levels through. I was just so tired at that point. I didn't know what was going on, but I was so excited that I was going to be done. And then I met the boss, and I couldn't beat him. He was like 200. I think I was like really small might back then, maybe 400,000 or 300. So, I mean, it was pretty small, my first loop. And I couldn't beat it at all. And I didn't know what to do, but I kind of heard stuff in guild chat about people asking for help. So I had been pretty shy about talking in the server and guild chat, but I decided that if I wanted to get this quest done, I better say something. And so I asked for help, and some other players in my guild and on the server helped me to get carried through, and that boss got beaten. So I was able to finish it. So if you happen to be in that position where you do have a small amount of might, or it's not enough to clear a boss, definitely ask for help. If you have a server like mine, there's going to be like everybody offering to help you. I have such a great server. I really hope that you guys out there are finding great servers also, or making them. because great servers don't just happen. They're created by the people on them. So, you know, help that out however you can, even if it's just say hi or ask for help or be polite and kind. That's pretty much all it takes to make a great server, is just everyone to be happy to get along. So, all right, so this is Loop, and this is Humble Garden, and I don't think I have very much else to say about it. But if you have questions, comments, or you feel like I missed something, then please let me know. I do all these in one take, and I can't always remember everything because I don't have a fantastic memory right now. Okay, guys, have a great night and help each other out.